Hello, everyone. Here we are with the Saber Olympics bracket draw. Got drawn last night. Had some chat in Discord about it with a few others. It's very interesting. So, well, let's get straight into it. So, this is the constellation. Sorry. The winners bracket. Here we are, which is the smaller of the two brackets. Firstly, in the first round, we've only got two games, which is, as you'd expect, two second places against two second places. So Hype came second in Group B and Civic came second in Group E. I don't know how far. I mean, ping issues are always ping issues. It's going to be Civic are South American and Hyper European, Hungarian. Well, with phrases half Hungarian, whatever. European against South American, so it's going to be a North American server. Everyone's going to have high ping. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but you'd expect Hype to win this. You'd expect them to maybe have a few problems at times with the high ping, but you'd expect them to win overall. They're just going to be a stronger team, I think. Bringing them on to play symbols. And down here, Myriad against No Surrender. Out of the two, well, both of them are interesting games. That this I have no idea who's going to win this. This is a North American team against a European team, so this will be a mix of servers. I don't know who wins this. Myriad have the better teamwork, the more just team orientated. I think I got that word right. And No Surrender are more individual and arrogant and messy, but individually are stronger than Myriad. So I've no idea. I've no idea. If No Surrender sort their shit out and come out with better teamwork and more focused, then you'd probably put them as favourites. But if they don't, Myriad's teamwork can win this quite easily. So that's going to be an interesting game to watch. Moving on to the next matches, though, as I say, I expect this to be Hype. Hype against Symbols will be a good game. I've no idea. Symbols are a mix of EU and NA, so I've no idea what kind of lineups they'll pick, whether how much spirits will be in this, or will they focus purely on NA, or will they go for a double EU player lineup with spirits and Frida with one NA player? I don't know. I don't know. It's very difficult. I think they've created a few problems for themselves with having the mix. I know there's a lot of advantages to it, but there are some problems as well. And then coming down here, Sentinels Red against Won't Die will be a massacre. Yeah, Won't Die will win and will absolutely make it to the semi final without having to play any top teams, which is good for them. Over down here, as I say, I'm not sure who's going to win this, but I expect Ziff to beat either of these two teams. I'm not saying they'll dominate, I'm not saying they'll smash them, but I think they will, with a bit of comfort, go through to the semi final. I think No Surrender don't have the teamwork, and individually Ziff can match No Surrender, if not beat them. And teamwork wise, Ziff are as good as Myriad, but individually stronger. So I don't think either of these two teams, apart from maybe a ping problem, I don't think they have anything that's going to really push Ziff too far. Down here, Team Ukraine against Saber Online. Big game. Big game. Both similar level. I'd say Ukraine individually are stronger, but we're talking South American against a Ukrainian team. I don't know what the pings are going to be like because I think it's probably going to be played on a North American server. I hope Ukraine's pings are okay, but I know they struggle sometimes with pings. So it's difficult. If they had their best lineup and all pings were good, and both teams had a low ping, I'd say Ukraine win that with a bit of comfort. But the fact that it's played on North American server, I have no idea because Ukraine will struggle with pings. At least I think for Speak, one of their players will struggle for ping on that one. And then coming further, there's a good chance it's going to be Won't Die against Symbols, but it could be Hype against Won't Die. Ziff against either of these two teams, that's another. Because these three teams here, Ukraine, Saber Online, and Ziff, are very close to each other. They're very similar in style in a lot of ways. And it's going to be it's really going to be a good side of the bracket here. I don't know who's going to win this. Either of these three teams can make it to that final spot here. I don't think either of these two teams will make it. I'm not trying to be harsh, but even if they do beat Ziff, I don't think they're going to beat one of these two teams as well as to make it to the final. And at the top here, it's probably going to be Symbols or Won't Die. I don't think Hype are going to beat Symbols and Won't Die. I think they could beat Symbols, but beating both is a big ask. And I think Won't Die specifically counters Hype quite well. They've got the tools to beat staffers, and Hype players with quite a lot of staffers. So I expect it's going to be Won't Die against Symbols, and obviously the winner will come into the final. Both sides are very tough to predict. I think once it gets down to the quarterfinal, then it gets really, really hype at that point. Apart from this game, which is a slaughter. R.I.P. JS. Now for the consolation bracket. There's a lot of teams at a very, very similar level in this bracket. It's not as extreme in the top team to the worst team as the winners bracket. So we've got Cerberus against AJC. Cerberus have finished the group stage very well. I don't think they're going to beat AJC. The AJC are just so much more used to the high ping. South American team against European team means NA Surfer, both teams high ping. I think AJC wins that. I think they're more patient. They're a very passive team, and they're used to the high ping. I just don't see Cerberus winning that. Hellraiser Fan Club against Vipers. Close. I think Vipers shade it. I think they'll win it, but it's close. I think Vipers are the more active team and with a better teamwork. And I think certain players they have can step up and do a lot of damage. Blah, blah, blah. No idea. I don't know how good they're going to be because they haven't been playing that much, and they dropped out of the group stage, and we are all over the place, and we haven't played against an NA team because Velocity are an NA team. No idea. No fucking clue. Could be either of us against Sentinels. And I don't know about this team. I think there are some problems here. I won't go over it, but I have no idea what's going to happen here either. Now going to the next round, AJC against Executors. I think AJC win. I don't think Executors' style works well with a high ping. Again, because high ping benefits from very mobile, backstabby sort of teams. The teams that try to fight head on and try to play more in a smaller area rather than a larger area, I think it's much harder to play that with a high ping. So you'll see a lot of the NA teams and SA teams play very, very jumpy, focus more on backstabs than anything else. Playing at a high ping, that works so much better than trying to play more head-on and individual. Basically, you can't use that individual advantage as much with a high ping. Whoever wins this, I think, beats Executors to get to the semi-final. Sorry, Executors, I just think that's how it's going to be. And I think whoever wins this is going to have a very close game against Sentinels. No idea who's going to win that. I'm not really adding much value to this here. Definitely not. I haven't got a clue. And I think Bastard Munchin, if they get their shit sorted, they beat either of these two teams. And so I'd put them over here. And as I say, I have no idea of these three teams, so I have no idea about the final. It's difficult. It's difficult. If Golden get their shit together and they play against Putin team, then they'll beat them. And then I think they have a good chance of beating Bastard Munchin. I think this bottom bit here is so difficult to predict. Whereas the top here, much, much easier to predict. I think AJC is going to be in this final here. That's this. I'll take it all the way to the final. They'll be in the final. And it'll be whoever from this absolute mess here at the bottom battle through to get to the final to play them. And basically because of that, I think AJC are maybe the favourites to win the whole thing. I think if the draw was different, AJC had different opponents, then they aren't favourites. But as it is currently, I think they're favourites to win the lower bracket. Right, oof. I need a drink. My mouth is dry as hell. I look forward to streaming this as well and playing in it. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.